What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and there's been this hilarious narrative going around Twitter, and now it's made its way to some legal conversations about a men-only curfew in order to make women feel safer. Because, of course, men inherently are dangerous for women. This is one of the most ridiculous stories I think I've ever reported on this. I've ever reported on this channel. Now, obviously, I can't deny that, situations exist. My wife is traveling right now through airports and stuff like that by herself. And, before she left, I just gave her some advice. Keep your eye around. If she's somebody like, following you around, or you see somebody more than once, just double back and, stay where there are a lot of people. And, you don't want somebody to get victimized. And that could be by a man or a woman. For me, it was more about her getting rolled or something like that. They take your tablet, take your whatever. But this is taking things to another hilarious level. One place I always feel safe? Well, it's playing with your boy, Raid Shadow Legends. Huge birthday shout out to Raid Shadow Legends. Everyone knows Raid Shadow Legends, of course, by now, but did you know that it's Raid's 2nd anniversary? That's right, it's been 2 years since Raid burst onto the scene and completely took over mobile gaming. To celebrate Raid's birthday, I've got a couple of questions they asked me to answer, so let's go. I gotta be honest, I wish Raid continued success. It's an important partner of this channel, and their partnerships have helped many of my friends. So live long and prosper, Raid. Favorite place to play the game? Probably at the dog park while I'm there with my boy Huck. When he abandons me for all the other dogs, I just sit there on the bench and play my Raid Shadow Legends. What do I like about the game? Well, firstly, it's the team building. It's assembling the perfect team. I also like summoning a couple champions at the portal and leveling them up at the tavern. So what's new in Raid? This month is Raid's 2-year anniversary, and the schedule is absolutely packed with amazing events. They've got 6 straight weeks of anniversary events and tournaments running from March 1st all the way through the middle of April, with insane prizes to win. They're even launching their first ever clan versus clan tournament to give players a chance to compete directly against another clan to see who comes out on top. If you want to get a huge head start in Raid, all you have to do is hit the link in the description or scan the QR code you're seeing right now, and you'll get your free epic champion Jotun. 100,000 silver, 50 gems, and 3 ancient shards so you can summon champions as soon as you get in game. Find them in the inbox for the next 30 days. Look, I've been repping Raid for a very long time. My username on there is Colt's Dad. I would love to play with you. The game is free to try, and if I can be honest, you've got nothing to lose. Download the game, try it out. If you don't like it, cool. It supports the channel, and hey, maybe you'll love it like I do. Use the link in the description or the pinned comment below to pick up Raid today. Hey, check it out. Add me. I'm Colt's Dad. It's free to try, and even if you just try it, it helps the channel. All men should face 6 p.m. curfew. Calls for ban on males after dark to make women feel safer and lessen discrimination as women share their fears of bad things happening in wake of Sarah Everard. Now, I don't want to speak ill of her. Obviously, this isn't about her. The idea that there isn't female purveyors of bad behavior is hilarious. There wouldn't be prisons full of women. So this entire narrative is ridiculous to me. I wonder if this is even like a publicly available number. Let's see. Number of women in prison. 219 And that's back in 2018. There's 29 facilities. Did men do that? Is that also men's fault? Men should be banned from being outdoors after 6 p.m. to make women feel a lot safer. After everything that happened to Sarah Everard in London, a Green Party peer suggested. Baroness Jones, said the common discussion in the House of Lords during the debate. The issue of women's safety has been again thrust into the spotlight following the disappearance of 33-year-old Miss Everard. She walked home to Brixton from her friend's home in Clapham on March 3rd. Now, we don't know. I don't know if we know who's involved in anything that happened to her. I don't know. The Strength Feeling saw dozens of women share their own harrowing stories online with hashtag too many men. A vigil called to reclaim the streets has been organized to show of support that everyone should be able to walk in public without fear. Well, I would like to. I would like to walk downtown Chicago or maybe even some of the suburbs at like 7 o'clock. So why not just, ban criminals after 6 o'clock? Then because, they follow the rules, right? These men that are doing terrible things, I'm sure if there's a curfew for them, that all of these bad things would stop. This is the same, like, you could tell the level of intellect or the actual goal of somebody by just looking at what's motivating their decision, right? It's the same argument that people use about banning weapons, right? Chicago is one that has some of the strictest laws around protecting yourself, and yet it is the most dangerous place in the United States. In fact, it's more dangerous than Baghdad, Iraq. Okay? So exactly what are those laws doing? It's so ridiculous and childlike to think that banning something keeps criminals from doing bad things. Don't have any problem finding those the jazz cabbage, do I? That's been illegal. It's banned, but it's everywhere. Kids in the suburbs now have no problem getting their hands on pills, running out of pills, then ODing because they can't afford them or find them anymore. That's banned. This whole idea of banning something will make people safer is ridiculous. These, the bad actors, men or women, are going to do what they do. It would just make easier prey because these women would have a false sense of security. Look, the physical attributes of a female versus a male in a situation where you have to defend yourself is relevant. I know that's not very woke of me, but I apologize if I offend you. But, it wouldn't take much to get over on, somebody who's 5'8", and 105 pounds. By the way, that would go for a man too. Okay. But really, what would a curfew do? And really what this turned out to be, by the way, what this of course turned into on Twitter is basically that all men are bad. That was the logical conclusion. I saw the hashtag trending and I was like, oh, okay. So how long before it's all men are evil? Well, it took like 1 second. In fact, I think if we look at a tweet from last night, this was the logical conclusion. By the way, that's my new brie shed. As far as you can see in this picture, further than you can see in the right and further than you can see in the left. That's where the beard compound is going. Just a fun fact. Excellent hunting grounds too. Where is it from last night? Here. Wait. Sorry. Give me a second. Here. We know hashtag not all men are unsafe, but every single woman feels unsafe. I disagree. And this idea, protect your daughter, educate your son. This is just another rendition of teach men not to, R word. women. It's so ridiculous. This is the worst way to go about this message. I'm a woman. I don't feel unsafe outside, even at night. You do not speak for me. In all fairness, though, men feel unsafe too. I can get my entire life ruined by 3 words, even if they aren't true. Woman here, how about educating both sons and daughters? Teach them both to respect each other. Men are victims of women too. Of course. Look, there's no denying that, there are, the protector in me. And by the way, women have this same feeling of, wanting to protect their own. Get between a mother and their kids once. Find out. Mess around and find out that moms don't have a bit of a protector in them too. All right. There is, this idea. Now, of course, she got absolutely destroyed after saying this. Women took to social media by the thousands to stress their vulnerability when they're walking alone. Resonates with almost all women. Look, I would feel nervous walking alone in a lot of neighborhoods. All right. I could go down to the north side of Milwaukee and I would not be wanting to walk alone. All right. That's just a fact. Same is true of the neighborhood where I live. I would walk alone here all I want. My wife does all the time. She's not afraid. This is about where you live and being aware of your surroundings. By the way, if somebody had a means to protect themselves, maybe that goes a little bit differently, right? Keeping your situational awareness is something that both men and women need to be better at. Do you ever drive next to somebody that right? And then you're like trying to get their attention for like miles and they never look over? Well, I've had that conversation with my wife. I've driven next to her for miles and she didn't notice. And I've had that conversation where I'm like, dear, you've got to look around you. All right. Like you've got to be aware, even when you're in your car, what's going on. You don't want to be looking around like an idiot, but, maybe glance. If a car's keeping pace with you and staring at you for 3 miles, maybe you want to be aware of that. And again, that goes for men too. But now, of course, she's backing off after getting insane backlash. Baroness, who suggested 6 p.m. curfew for men, says she just wanted to make a point. Nobody makes a fuss. For example, the police suggest women stay home, but when I suggested, men are up in arms. That's not what you were suggesting. You were suggesting a legal curfew that applied to men only. And by the way, until what time? Because even if this ridiculous curfew were to be enacted, the men, let's say the men who were going to break the law, listen to your curfew. They're just going to wait till it ends. And then you'll have a rise in daytime activities, right? It's ridiculous. This is virtue signaling, bordering on anti-male sentiment, but I can't say I'm surprised. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.